So most productivity advice on the internet is bullshit, because there's one thing that needs to be in place before you even try to optimize your productivity. And what I'm about to share with you is entirely backed and endorsed by the man, Steve Jobs, and I will prove it to you at the end of this video. Okay, so the idea for this video actually began with me playing my favorite video game of all time, Counter-Strike. I've been playing this game off and on for almost 20 years, and I still play it almost every day. And it was actually through examining my relationship with Counter-Strike that I learned the productivity secret that I'm going to share with you in this video. Okay, so the way I'm going to teach this concept is by sharing with you two lists. We're going to call them List A and List B. And List A is all the things that I have no issues with productivity in at all. And then List B is all the things that I've constantly had productivity issues with in my life. All right, it's time for List A. So List A includes things like reading and learning, working on my business, creating videos just like this one, writing books, playing Counter-Strike, watching Netflix, playing drums, playing guitar, hanging out with my wife and my daughter. List B includes things like responding to emails, opening mail, paying bills, getting documents to the bank for investment loans and refinances, and doing business activities that I don't enjoy, but I decided I needed at some point, like DMing 50 people a day to try and get clients, which at some point I decided was a good idea, turned out to be crazy. So as you look at those two lists, what pops up in your mind? For me, the obvious thing is that List A is the fun stuff that I love to do, and then List B is the stuff that I hate. I'll tell you this, I've never struggled to do anything that I love doing. It flows naturally. I'm naturally productive on everything in List A, and I'm naturally unproductive on everything in List B. And then when I'm unproductive, my knee-jerk reaction is to get on YouTube and search for some productivity advice, or to follow some new system, or to try and set goals or have deadlines for myself and kind of force myself to be disciplined. So the interesting thing is that every time that I struggle with productivity, what happens right before that is that I've chosen to do something that I do not enjoy doing. So the very first question we can ask is, what that we do not enjoy doing can be eliminated from our life. Now this might force you to make some difficult decisions regarding your career, because that is the area that most people want productivity help within. If you are successful in your career doing something that you love, you can actually afford to pay people to do all the stuff that you don't like to do anyways. That is how you hack and win the game. Now obviously there's always going to be things that we don't enjoy doing but have to get done anyways. This video is shining a light on the possibility that there could be some huge things that you're doing in your life that you're trying to be more productive in, but you actually don't really enjoy it. And if you possibly, instead of trying to be more productive, just pivoted to something that you enjoy and you love, and that natural productivity will set in, and you won't need some fancy productivity system to try and force you to do this thing. So for many, many years, I went to the gym and lifted weights, and that was my form of exercise. And I sort of just did it because I assumed that this was the healthiest thing to do, but it was always a grind, and I was always trying to follow some new system or stick to some new workout routine. And then I would always fall off, quit, take some time off, and then get back in the gym, and did that over and over again for literally over a decade. And then I realized that I could actually get exercise while doing things that were fun to me. I joined a rock climbing gym, and I did that for about a year, and then that got boring. And then I joined a kickboxing gym, and I'm doing that still currently, and it's really fun for me. I'm learning a skill and I'm getting great exercise. I also joined a parkour gym, which is like Ninja Warrior, where you're running around and doing obstacle courses. The next day you're like super sore, my abs are sore from top to bottom. It's like I killed myself in the gym, but I was just having a fun time and I didn't realize I was working out. And it's the same thing with playing video games, right? I'm not struggling to be productive. I literally gravitate towards it naturally. I want to do it. Now I realize that life is not necessarily a video game, but what in your life that you don't really enjoy doing and you're trying to be more productive at, could you change? What type of career would be the closest thing to playing a game for you, to having fun, or whatever that is for you? And then can you base your life upon that from the outset? To me, I would much rather have fun, do what I love, and not be stuck in the confines of some rigid productivity system to try and get me to do things every day that I don't enjoy doing. And finally, here is the clip from the man, Steve Jobs, to put a bow on this entire concept.
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, and you don't really love it, you're going to give up. And that's what happens to most people, actually. If you really look at the ones that ended up being successful, unquote, in the eyes of society and the ones that didn't, oftentimes it's the ones that are successful loved what they did so they could persevere when it got really tough. And the ones that didn't love it quit because they're sane, right? Who would want to put up with this stuff if you don't love it? So it's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of worrying constantly. If you don't love it, you're going to fail. So you got to love it, you got to have passion.
All right, guys, so if you enjoyed this video and you're trying to decide what it is that you're passionate about so that you can do that and not need the productivity help, you're going to want to check out this video or go over my top tips to find your passions. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you there.